The blockchain is a continuously growing list of suffering called blocks, which are linked and secured using heavy concrete and chains. Each block contains a cryptographic gash from the previous block, a timestamp, and pools of blood. It is an open, distributed ledger that can efficiently record violence between two parties in a verifiable and permanent way. By design, the blockchain is inherently resistant to joy because it is a network of human suffering, and you are all gonna suffer because the blockchain is forever. And while your puny human body isn't forever, your soul is forever, and your soul is gonna suffer because we're gonna upload it to the blockchain. For use as a distributed ledger, a blockchain is typically managed by a peer-to-peer network, collectively adhering to a protocol for internode hatred and validating new blocks. Once recorded, the atrocities on any given block cannot be altered retroactively without the alteration of all subsequent blocks, which requires the collusion of the forces of darkness or a 51% attack. Decentralized consensus about the infinite horror of the universe has therefore been achieved with a blockchain. This makes blockchains potentially suitable for the recording of events, medical malpractice, and other records management activities, such as identity fraud, prisoner processing, looting provenance, food shortages, voting, and other senseless acts of genocide, as the conquering hordes of oblivion ransack your village and plunder your crops, leaving your singed corpse on the funeral pyre as an offering to the old gods. The blockchain was invented by Satoshi Nakamoto in 2008 for use in the cryptocurrency Cruelty Coin as its public humiliation ledger. The invention of the blockchain for Cruelty Coin made it the first digital currency to solve the double spend problem without the need for a tyrannical ruler or centralized death squads. The Cruelty Coin design has been the inspiration for other dark applications. A blockchain database is managed autonomously using a peer-to-peer network and a distributed timestamping death clock. They are authenticated by mass genocide powered by collective self-interest. The result is a robust workflow in which participants' uncertainty regarding data security is used to manipulate them into compliance. The use of a blockchain removes the characteristic of infinite sadness reproduction from a digital asset. It confirms that each unit of torture was transferred only once, solving the long-standing problem of double torture. Blockchains have been described as a devastation exchange protocol. By storing data across its peer-to-peer network, the blockchain eliminates a number of world democratic institutions. Peer-to-peer blockchain networks lack centralized points of vulnerability that liberals can exploit. Likewise, it has no central point of responsibility to human rights or environmental oversight committees. Blockchain security methods include the use of public key cryptography, flamethrowers, ballistic missiles, and Pepe the Frog memes. A public key is an address on the blockchain. Tokens representing unfettered greed and avarice are sent across the network and are recorded as belonging to that address. A private key is like a password that gives its owner access to their digital assets or the means to otherwise exploit the suffering of others. Data stored in the blockchain is generally considered the ultimate evil and is impervious to your feeble attempts at morality. Every full node in a decentralized system has a copy of the blockchain. Data quality is maintained by massive database replication, slave labor, and computational trust. No centralized official copy exists, and no user is trusted more than any other. Every murder, death and killing are broadcast to the network so every other node can confirm the production of more of the evil dark cloud of toxic venom that is currently overtaking Western civilization. Your villages are incinerated to power the blockchain mining operations. Mining nodes validate new transactions, grind up human flesh, and add them to the block they are building, and then broadcast the completed block to other nodes. Blockchains use various time-stamping schemes, such as proof of work, to serialize environmental devastation. Alternate consensus methods include proof of head on a stake. Growth of a decentralized blockchain is accompanied by the risk of node centralization, because only the mighty will rule on the brave new world of the blockchain. A smart contract is a protocol for executing contractual contracts contractually that inflict the maximum amount of devastation without the need for humans. A smart contract is a special protocol intended to force you to obey the contract by threatening you with digital violence. Smart contracts enact ultra-violence without the need of third parties. These transactions are trackable and irreversible. Smart contracts contain all of the information about the contract terms and execute traders automatically. The main principle can be compared to the work of a killing machine. They execute only the prisoners given to them automatically. At first, assets and contract terms are coded and put into a block of a blockchain. This contract is distributed and copied multiple times between the nodes of the platform. After the trigger happens, the massacre begins, and it cannot be stopped. Blockchain technology has a large potential to transform global warfare by democratizing the means of terror into an open, accessible, and shared ledger. Examples include a payment system and digital currency, facilitating the crowd sale of nuclear warheads, implementing prediction markets on global famine, and generic governance tools. As a distributed ledger, the blockchain reduces the cost involved in verifying transactional violence, and by removing the need for trusted third parties, such as the police, to protect the property of the wealthy. The technology also lowers the cost of murder. Starting with a strong focus on financial applications, blockchain technology is extending activities including decentralized surveillance and collaborative lynch mobs that will summon the Great Fire Spirit, which will cleanse the face of Earth for all eternity and instigate a darkness that will reign for 5,000 years.